I want to get your opinion on this. In today's marketplace, it's more competitive than ever. Most companies have, on average, between 25 and 30 competitors in the marketplace. Also, there's rapid technological innovation that's happening. So, what happens here is, and this is what McKinsey's and the Gartners talk about, is that it's much harder to compete these days on price when you have so much competition. It's hard to compete on product with so much rapid innovation that's happening. So, therefore, of the three legged stool of product, price, and experience, that's why experience rises to the top and is the most important competitive advantage that a company can have. And is anything in your research or after all of your research, what's your opinion on if we're going to look as growth and how do we look at our go-to-market strategy and where we're going to lean in on product, price, or experience? What's your opinion on where we should be leaning in?
Yeah, it's a great question. So, if we assume for conversation's sake, and let's just take any industry set. Let's say, for example, you're going to buy a car. That might be a good example. We all research the kind of car we want. Okay, we want a midsize, and there you have the plethora of choices. Generally speaking, those cars are going to be about the same kind of car, same kind of size, same kind of bells and whistles, generally same kind of price. And that could be a Nissan dealer, a Toyota dealer, or this dealer, and you can go to all three. Now, there's a little bit of preference there, obviously, when you're talking about an automobile. But if you go to the Kia dealer, for example, and you have an amazing experience with the people you're interacting with, and then you go to the Honda dealer and it may not be as good, or you go to the Toyota dealer and it was really terrible. Chances are you're probably going to lean more towards where you got the best service, best support, best experience, and then an opportunity. Now, it may not be where ultimately you buy, but I do think back to your point, if all things are equal at the price and the features, advantages, benefits of said service or product, et cetera, then what it will come down to is how do you feel interacting with this? And that's a big part of my sort of overarching research and even philosophy around management and leadership. Human beings are made up of thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. This is affect. This is cognition, this connection. These are the sort of the basics of psychology are thoughts, feelings, and behavior, and how those three interact and how one sort of drives the other and vice versa. We know for certain that effect, which is how you feel, directly impacts what you think and how you think, and more importantly, how you behave. And so all internal marketing, external marketing is really around capturing effect and feeling. Because if you feel good about what you've done, chances are you're going to engage in that activity more so than others. Hence, if you feel good as an employee because of the experience you're getting, you're going to perform and produce better. And if that is cascaded through a customer interaction, same idea. So it's capturing effect. Most people don't spend a lot of time in like cognitive mental math and like painstakingly going through decision making. And now some do for sure. But most people make decisions based on how they feel and how they feel at the time. And so it's this buildup of effect and feeling. Take the presidential election that we're currently in. The whole concept of it is really about at the time of the voter making their vote. I'm sure many people have gone through, really thought hard and looked at policy, but a lot of people make decisions based on affect and how they feel because the brain as a organ does not like to work. It's this concept of homeostasis. The brain would prefer not to be busy and working. And so that's the idea of cognitive activity, really working through stuff. In general, it likes to just be in a homeostasis state, which is why change is so hard. So when people talk about change management and change this and change that. At its core, it's around biology. The muscle itself of the brain prefers to be in a homeostatic state as opposed to an active state. So you put all those things together, back to sort of the core question, if you can make people feel positive, you're going to have a better outcome. And as it relates to employee experience, that's what we're really trying to drive, which is, are you feeling good about your experience? And are these elements contributing to you, or where are they contributing to you, and to how much? Because we know if we can do that, those people are the differentiation. So back to your question around what's the differentiator as experience, it does come down to people. I always chuckle a little bit when I see people posting around the people side of business and that kind of terminology. It strikes me as odd because people are the business. I don't know of any business that exists out there that's successful that isn't a function of what people do, their behavior. And that's a function of how they think about what they're doing and how they feel. And feeling has a big part of it, the effective side of it.